Have you ever noticed someone who was once active every day, posting on social media, replying to every message, and always present in group conversations, suddenly disappear? They stop posting, become harder to reach, and quietly fade into the background. Most people immediately assume something is wrong, but the truth is that silence often has a completely different meaning. When someone becomes less available, people often jump to conclusions. They assume the person is angry, depressed, lonely, or avoiding everyone. But in many cases, none of those explanations are true. Sometimes disappearing is simply the result of growing older, becoming wiser, and realizing that not everything deserves your time and attention. Every single day, your mind spends energy on conversations, notifications, meetings, social media, and endless distractions. Just like your phone battery, your mental energy is limited. Highly self-aware people understand this. Instead of giving their attention to everything, they become very selective about where that energy goes. As people mature, they stop feeling responsible for being available to everyone. They realize that constantly saying yes to every invitation, every conversation, and every notification leaves them mentally exhausted. So instead of protecting their reputation, they begin protecting something far more valuable, their peace of mind. They no longer measure their life by the number of friends, followers, or conversations they have. Instead, they focus on meaningful relationships and meaningful work. They would rather have a few genuine connections than hundreds of shallow interactions that leave them emotionally drained. Not every friendship is meant to last forever. As people grow, their priorities, goals, and values naturally change. Sometimes they simply outgrow relationships that once felt important. This isn't about arrogance or believing they're better than others. It's about recognizing that growth sometimes requires letting go. Rather than creating arguments or explaining themselves repeatedly, they choose something much simpler. They quietly step away. No dramatic announcements, no public conflicts, no unnecessary negativity. Sometimes silence is the most peaceful way to create healthy distance. Some people don't feel the need to announce every decision they make. They don't post every achievement, every struggle, or every life change online. Before anyone else notices a difference, they've already spent weeks or even months thinking carefully about the direction they want their life to take. Instead of looking for advice from dozens of people, they spend time reflecting on their own thoughts. They trust themselves enough to make important decisions quietly. Their biggest conversations don't happen on social media. They happen inside their own minds. Many social interactions are driven by one hidden desire, the need to be accepted. But eventually, some people stop chasing approval from everyone around them. They realize that living to impress others often means ignoring what truly matters to themselves. Once someone discovers a strong sense of purpose, many distractions naturally lose their importance. Endless scrolling, unnecessary conversations, and constant social validation begin to feel less meaningful. Their attention shifts toward building the life they truly want. One of the hardest lessons in life is accepting that not everyone will understand your choices. Some people will think you've changed, others may think you're rude or distant. But emotionally mature people understand that being misunderstood is often a small price to pay for living authentically. Instead of constantly explaining themselves, they allow their actions to tell the story. They know that real growth doesn't need endless announcements. Results eventually speak louder than words, and time reveals what explanations never could. Their disappearance isn't about rejecting people. It's about choosing a life with fewer distractions and more intention. They invest their time where it creates the greatest value, in their goals, their health, their family, and their personal growth. Disappearing doesn't automatically mean someone is more intelligent, and not every intelligent person chooses solitude. But when someone becomes deeply clear about what truly matters, they naturally become less available for everything that doesn't. Protect your time, protect your energy, and remember, the strongest growth often happens quietly, long before the world notices. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this today.